Alexa, pause. Hey there, it's Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed, and it's 9 o'clock, Wednesday, January 26th. Hey, I've been thinking about this all day. I don't know why. I don't have anything planned. Hey there, McGator, other than our amazing guest at about 9:15. So I'm looking forward to him. See you guys to meet him. So let's get started. Three cheers of joy, three moments of self celebration that have nothing to do with anyone but you. Brought to you by Queen's Ransom, alcohol infused products, and premium liquors. So, hey, hey. All right, so let's go. Three cheers of joy. My first cheer of joy. This is week 4 of my personal trainer. Yes, I see the difference. I can feel the difference too. I'm getting stronger every freaking day, even when I'm not in it, I'm still in it. So week 4, I'm really proud. That's my first cheer of joy. So cheers to that. My second cheer of joy is that last Saturday I got to attend a guided meditation via Zoom. And I love the guy, the shaman who holds the guided meditations. And I've been one time in person, but it's so intense, right? So, and his studio is far away. So I just kind of went on a limb and went via Zoom, and it was still equally as amazing. So, cheers to guided meditation from last Saturday. Cheers to that. And it's so funny that I did the guided meditation via Zoom, and I've really been in like a zone all week. I've been chill. I felt good. I felt reassured. It's amazing just the level of energy you can receive even in a Zoom session. Now, I could see him and hear him, of course, but my camera was off, so he couldn't see me, but I could definitely see him. And it was so awesome. It just during the time that I could. And you just, if you've never gone to a guided meditation before, give it a try because it's everything you want it to be, everything you need it to be. That's exactly what it is. That's it right there. Okay, my third cheer of joy. Let's see, 4 weeks of working out and guided meditation and work. My business. Cheers to me and my business. It's growing. Cheers to that. I've got 2 manuscripts that I'm reading right now, and I both have my goal is to have them both done by tomorrow. So 2 new manuscripts, that means 2 new clients. Well, 1 repeat client and 1 new client. So really excited about that. Just had some great conversations with some people about their writings and events and opportunities. So those are my 3 cheers of joy for the week. The first one is 4 weeks of working out. The second one is the guided meditation. And the third one is my business is growing. So cheers to all of that. Thanks to our official sponsor, Queen's Ransom LLC. And if you order you something from Queen's Ransom, don't forget to use coupon code QueenJoy to save you 15 to 20%. And I say 15 or 20% because I can't remember if it's 15 or 20%. So, but anyway, at least 15 you're going to save. All right. So let's move on to, we'll do social media of the week. Before we social media post of the week, let me tell you guys, I don't know the energy I was giving off the past weekend. The Faceless Love was like, we're going out. So we talked about going out Saturday night, but I chilled all day because the meditation has me really zonked out. Like I was on something. That's how I feel afterwards. Like I'm so relaxed. So I chilled all day. But when I got up Saturday night about 10, I was up like, let's go do something. And he started the conversation, but he was BSing. I was for real. So on Sunday, we decided to go out to cigar bar, smoke a cigar because it's cold outside. And other than it's cold outside, is that we haven't really been out. We're very comfortable. You get older, you get really comfortable in your own space. So we're really comfortable. Anyway, so we go to cigar bar. As soon as we get in there, it's a lot of people. So we're like, well, dang, we're not going to have anywhere to sit. And then we we're getting ready to go into the humidor to select a cigar, and he saw someone that he knew. And so that's how it started. We go in, we get a cigar, we come out, and we sit at this table with these beautiful people, beautiful couples, and they're just sitting there talking, chilling. So they scooted, made room for us. They scooted over. We pulled in, sat down and everything. And we sat in there and talked and laughed and smoked cigars. And I drank wine. And remember, I haven't really been drinking during the week. Maybe a little glass, maybe. But on Sunday, I knew I was drinking because it was a cheat day. And that was my rest day. So there was no exercise and I could cheat. So I ordered a bottle of wine. Everybody else have cocktails. I'm sitting there drinking my wine, trying to get everybody to drink it. We sat in that place until it closed. Now, literally closed. It was like 30, 40 minutes after it closed. We were still in there. And they were like, y'all don't have to go home, but y'all got to get the hell out of here. So we ended up getting outside. We left there. We left and we get in the parking lot. And they're like, well, let's go to here. Let's go to this place. So we went to another place and ended up shutting that shit down too. But anyway, it was so much fun and such great people. And I was so excited because I had not been out in a long time. And I had such a good time, such fun ladies, high spirited ladies, laughing, just having a great time. It was dope as hell. I'm glad we went. The funny thing is, we get in the car to drive from one cigar bar to the next. I can't find my freaking cell phone. Like, I'm literally like, babe, I left my cell phone in the cigar bar. So he turned around, he go back, he go to the door, and they're like, man, what's up? My girl left her cell phone. They was like, we cleaned the table and no cell phone. So he's calling my cell phone. Well, I'm in the car. I see my name come up on the dash, right? He's calling my phone. And I'm like, wait, how? Wait, I couldn't understand why my phone was ringing in the car. So he finally gets to the car. And I'm like, somebody has my phone. It's ringing in the car. Like I can see it. And he was like, babe, that's because your profile is in the car. So if it's ringing there, the phone has to be somewhere in the car because the car's system picked up your location of your phone. So I'm like, but I can't find it. So he gives me his phone. He drives off. I'm telling him, okay, somebody has my phone because I'm looking at the Find My on because he has my location. I'm looking at Find My on his phone. Listen, we done went through this whole thing about my damn phone, and it was in between the seat and the console. All this tech, but between all the wine and being tipsy, I could not figure out where the phone was. I just felt like somebody had my phone and they were going to the same place as us. I was laughing. Once I realized what had happened or what was happening, I was laughing my ass off. I was like, oh, here it is right here. So he's out. No, we got to the other cigar bar. This is when I figured my phone is down there. Look, so I'm looking for, I stick my hand in it. Stuck my hand down and got it. He's still outside of the car at the new cigar bar calling it. So I pull it up and it's ringing. It's on it's quieted, my ringer's off. So I look at the phone, I answer the phone, I'm like, hello, hello. He came to the door. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hello. Get out of the car. I was so blasted. I was like, I can't party like this often. I have got to get out more. I got to do more. But man, it was so funny. So we left there. We got to the other cigar bar. We immediately ordered food. We sat in there. We talked and laughed some more. And then it was time to go home. All of this happened, and I was home by 10 o'clock. It wasn't even late as hell. It felt like it was 2 or 3 in the morning. 10 o'clock. Home. 10:30, I had already showered and was climbing into bed. I was like, oh, what happened to my party days when I could party all day? I mean, party all night, drink all night, dance. COVID has made me a very lazy partier. But anyway, it was fun to say the least to get out of the house because I needed to get out of the house. We needed to hang out. And I met some great people. You can't knock that. Speaking of meeting great people, I met this guy there. He came over. White guy was asking us if we were going for the Chiefs, and I was like, it don't matter to me. I'm just here. I'm here for the wine and the cigars. Laughing, whatever. Turns out he tells us that he financed a movie called The Curse of the Patasola. Let me tell you the exact name of it because I want you to go watch it. I watched it. I mean, it's a uh low budget. The Curse of La Patasola. And it's a kind of supposed to be like a little horror movie talking about an old wives' tale comes to life, pretty much. And I watched it; it was pretty decent. And I don't watch a lot of movies like that, but I was impressed because somebody said, they part financing of a movie. That's like dope, and especially for me because I need financing for my movie. So I was like, that's dope. I'm writing a screenplay. And he was like, "You are?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm working on another one, but I have one from my own personal books that I'm writing, and I need financing from that." And he was like, "Oh, I'd love to read it." He started telling me about the other people that he worked with on this team and a couple of names that we recognize. And then we exchanged numbers so I could send him my book and stuff. And then we've been texting like all week. And the guy that he wants me to meet, the executive producer, he set up a call for us. So it was really Sunday was a great day for me. I got out and to network. That's when I realized I haven't done a reading since before COVID. I haven't done a reading. I haven't really worked and been out networking just because of safety concerns. But I'm ready to go and work now. I'm ready to set up a reading. I'm ready to have an event. I'm ready. I'm ready. So I got to get back in the swing of, doing some work, try to make me some money, put me some stuff together. So anyway, Sunday was really cool. I know that was kind of off the script, but it was really a great time. We had a blast. I have not laughed that much in a long time. So that was dope. All right. So let's look at the Facebook social media post of the week, brought to you by stmspecialties.com, as always. Now, here's one I saw earlier. Oh, no, that's the one from my guest. And I thought it was really cool. Is that it? No, that's not it. Dang. Me and looking through these things, right? Did I not screen save it? Maybe I didn't save it. Oh, if that's the case, well, I'm gonna read this one because I did save this. Oh, I tried to give away some ballerina tea. It's a ballerina, it's a weight loss tea, I think. And I have it, and my daughter recommended it because she likes it, but it makes me nauseous. Like, ugh, not even like it makes me go to poop. It just makes me feel nauseous. So I think I'm allergic to something in it. Anyway, I tried to give it away. Didn't nobody even want the damn tea. So I finally found somebody that wanted, and I'm gonna save it to give it to them. And let's see. Okay, here's a good one that came across again, and I chuckled reading it. But I know I've read this before, and I'm going to read it again. It said, "Oh, damn, it still doesn't it." It says, from this, I pulled it from Instagram from Yolanda Wisington. It says, "One, it is important that a man helps you around the house and has a job. Two, it is important that a man makes you laugh. Three, it is important to find a man you can count on and doesn't lie to you. Four, it is important that a man loves you and spoils you." All those sound great, right? And five, it is important that these four men don't know each other. It's still one of my favorites. Every time I see it, I just giggle it. I giggle because it is hilarious. But yeah, so that's one of my social media posts of the week. And let me find the other one, or let me find one more because I guess I didn't screenshot the one. Nope, I did. That was for last week. I guess I didn't screenshot the one I saw earlier. Oh well. Oh yeah, I saw that one and kind of laughed. It said no sex until your birthday. When will you have sex? Those kind of things are kind of funny because they'll say you get arrested on New Year's, you can't get out to your birthday. All of those. So there's a lot of neat little things out there, and so then we have to play those little games and stuff sometimes. Well, it's time. It's 9:15 and our special guest is here. His name is Greg R&B. He's a singer. He's good looking. He's an entrepreneur. He runs his own Facebook group. Really has it going on. And I was just very excited that he would give us some time to come on and speak with us tonight. So let me introduce him. Greg R&B, are you ready? Let me pull him up. Look, I'm saying that like he gonna pull himself up. Y'all know he waiting on me and my computer issues. Here we go.
How's it going? How's it going?
Hey there, it's going well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I was just over here eating some popcorn,
Nice, getting ready for the show, the Greg show.
getting ready for the show.
Man, I'm going to tell you, I had such a good time reading through your website. You have such a dynamic story. But before I get into asking you some questions and stuff, why don't you share a little bit about yourself with our audience and let's just get it going.
Well, it's a lot to share. So, but Greg R&B, R&B singer. I was born in Rochester, New York, but I grew up in Fort Pierce, Florida, where I came to Atlanta maybe about 5 years ago, and started pursuing my career in R&B. But before that, I had been involved in music, entertainment for like maybe very long time. From a lot of different aspects. As a songwriter, uh, a rapper, a producer. A studio owner.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay, I got it. So I saw that in your website. It's like he has such a diverse background. And I also saw just from social media that you run your own trucking company too.
yeah, I run my own trucking company. I got into trucking when I came to Atlanta. And actually, when I moved from Florida, I had a clothing store in Florida, so I wasn't really used to working like that. So when I came to Georgia, I was looking to take on a new lifestyle, so I started working.
Right.
And in my search for work, I just can't start coming across just so much trucking jobs, and they was paying $2,000 a week and $1,500 a week, and I'm like, man, I need to be making that kind of money.
I know. Right.
Right. So but at the time I didn't have a driver's license. My driver's license was suspended in Florida, so I had to go through the process and end up going to trucking school and getting the CDL, and with the intentions to become a trucking owner. I drove for other companies for about 2 years. Well, about a year and a half, close to 2 years. And then I branched out and started my own trucking company up after I got enough knowledge.
Yeah, you posted on social media. I screenshot. I want to read it, and it was just so mind blowing, just because of the honesty of what you said. You said, 5 years ago, I came to Georgia with 2 garbage bags of clothes, a suspended license, and $200 in my pocket. Started out as a warehouse worker, but the Most High promoted me to an owner of 3 businesses because I didn't give up, stay motivated. That's like a dream story, because so many people get stuck in a space. What is it about Greg R&B that just you didn't get stuck in a space? What is it about you?
Well, honestly, I have a different kind of motivation, and it's self and God motivated. Number one, so like I said, it was some hard times. Well, I didn't even say it in the post, but like I talked to somebody in my inbox because they came to me and they told me that the post encouraged them. But I told them like I didn't even tell them about the time when I lost everything. Like, cause I ended up getting my driver's license in Atlanta. Ended up getting an apartment, got me a car, and seemed like everything just turned around and went for the worst. I got evicted out of my apartment in Atlanta. I ended up going to a rooming house. I couldn't afford to pay my car note. My car got repossessed. I got evicted out of the rooming house. And end up at the homeless shelter downtown with my two same plastic bags. Actually, I had 3 plastic bags, but I ended up having to leave one of them at the homeless shelter.
Wow.
So I ended up with 2 plastic bags again.
Again, yeah.
And I called a friend of mine who I had met from a Facebook group, and told her a little bit about my situation, and she sent me an Uber to bring me over, and lo and behold, like help me, get a start up with Airbnb paying daily pay, and I would at that point in time, because the type of person I am, I react, I think, better under pressure. I put on a good performance under pressure, so I'm the opposite of the way a lot of other people are. A lot of people fold under pressure, but me, I turn up the heat under pressure.
Okay.
So with me not having nothing, what I did is I went to a daily pay, found out about the daily pay places around the town, signed up with the daily pay places, and got up every morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and went to any job that was paying in order to be able to continue to pay my $25 to $35 a day Airbnb. Right. And with the type of drive I had, I made my payments on time and so well that me and the homeowner became friends, and he took the house off of Airbnb and we became roommates.
Wow.
And I ended up staying with him for 2 years.
Wow. That's amazing. And you said something else in there that I just remember reading, because reading in preparation for a book that I'm writing. You said when you're under pressure, that's when you go hard. When times are hard, that's when you go in. And that's one of the things that keep people from being great, keep people from getting to self-actualization, because you can't keep working when you're not hungry. So when people get content, they stop. Right? So you get content, seems like you get to a level, but it seems like for you did that a couple times, but then you realize I'm not going backwards. So there's not a time for me to be content. I've got to grind like this every day.
Right. And then, I was looking at Les Brown. He said something, or it was another motivational speaker, and they were saying, in order to be something that you've never been, you have to become something that something brand new.
Yeah.
So, I said, I'm not going back to Florida, so I had to become something brand new. So and that's what I did. I didn't know anything about trucking. I never drove a stick shift vehicle in my life. And I was actually timid, when it came down to putting me in the driver's chair to drive a stick shift vehicle. I bucked up against it, but my trainer, whose name is David Richardson, rest in peace. He had a massive heart attack last year.
Wow.
But he coached me and got me my first job driving trucks. And he told me, Greg, you got to make sure you master the hardest thing first, because after you master the hardest thing, everything else becomes easy.
Right.
So that right there, stuck with me and is going to always stick with me, because he was such a great man. And, he's in heaven now. But I've actually lived by that. I've never been afraid I've never been afraid of the mud. So because I always had enough faith in myself that if I ever hit the mud, I always, I knew the blueprint to getting back to the ceiling. So, and then, so I always, whenever times get hard, that's when I turn up the heat. I think the most, but that's not the only time, because now, like you said before, bigger goals, and the more you just become more goal orientated, it's like you feed the flame,
Mm-hmm.
a person to feed that flame, that same flame of hunger at the bottom. Goals create that same kind of determination.
Yes, exactly. Because you can see something different. You know there's something more than what you've had. Because you can see it. You just need to get to it. And that when I see your posts and see your promotions for your concerts, and I see your dress, your outfit, your stance, your boldness, and I'm like, this is a man who knows who he is, and he knows that he's going somewhere, or he has somewhere to go. I love that because you're so, I'm here, you blinged out, you got your coats draped in your coats. I'm like, look at him. He is all that.
Hey, well, I thank you so very much. And, I've always appreciated your support. And it's, great to be on your show.
Thank
And,
you.
like, is this like, you gotta have, I went through a relationship that, didn't work out. And when that relationship didn't work out, I had to find myself again.
Hmm.
So, because sometimes we get lost in relationships, we get lost in people
A
when we
lot of
don't.
times, a lot
Right.
of times we get lost in people.
A lot of
Absolutely.
time we get lost in people, and then after they depart, we have to find ourselves again. Um, so after, you know, uh, I had to find myself, I think, for almost like the first time. Like, so it was like, it turned out to be a miracle that it ended, because it put me in a place to where I had to do a lot of self-reflection.
Mhm.
And when I reflected a lot, that's when I gained the confidence.
Mm,
Um, so a lot of, what I've become is, what was given birth to from, a bad, heartbreak, I say, because it wasn't a
yes.
bad separation. It just was heartbreaking,
Yeah.
on my behalf, because I was under a wrong impression,
Mm.
um, in which that happens to a lot of us,
Oh, absolutely.
you know.
Yeah. And I know that I talked about this earlier, in that we always have to find the thing to fuel the thing that's our gift. And it sounds like you found yourself in trucking. That thing is the thing that fuels your gift of music,
Right,
because
right. Oh yeah,
that's like your passion.
yeah, definitely. Because music, I've been doing music, and it's always been my passion. But you can't be broke doing music, like it, and you know, because then you're a slave to somebody else saying yeah, or
Mhm.
somebody else saying oh yeah, and like, that's a position of weakness.
Right.
And a lot of artists, they get into the music business in a position of weakness, and then they don't like what they get, in the long run. They complain about it. Like a lot of artists complaining about the music industry right now with the bad deals that they got, and they're not making any money. But they came in the position of weakness. They was broke,
And they wanted
so
the money, so
and
they
they
were
and
willing to
they want
sign.
and they wanted the money.
Yep.
And then, like, when you broke, $50,000, 120, $200,000 seemed like a lot of money when you
Yep.
broke. But after you done ran through $500,000, now you looking at $250,000. Like, man, what's that?
Yeah.
So like, it's levels to the whole. It's to money. It's levels to everything. Like, the more money you make, the more, what seems like a lot to people is seem like it's be like nothing to you. Like,
Right.
uh, my bills, like, a lot of my expenses is money. Is like, I could probably pay like 3 or 4 people
Yeah,
rent.
just with yours. Yeah.
You know what I mean? With some of my expenses, like, but that's a part of making money.
Right.
You you know but then as a business person, you got to know how to also budget your lifestyle. Not live above your means and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Also,
Right. And it's hard. I think the people in the industry, when you get to see people living these elaborate lives and somebody's working this job $15-20 an hour, they're trying to live a lifestyle similar to that. If you're not fueling something else, bringing some more money in, it's not happening. It's really, and I've lived in that cycle of paycheck to paycheck to I've lived in that cycle of paycheck for years, and then it took me a long time to realize, wait a minute, I really need to have some money coming in from other places. I've got to, what do I need to do and how do I figure this out? And that's when I realized that the job I had is supposed to be fueling the dreams I have so that I can get more resources coming in and not get lost in, just that contentment of paycheck to paycheck. There has to be some evolution in that.
oh yeah, it can't be done with one income.
Yeah,
It just can't be done. Like nobody who's wealthy is wealthy off of one income.
true.
You
That's true.
know, or either once they become not, nobody's wealthy that's wealthy off one income, because once you make money, if you're smart and financially literate, is comes natural to become an investor.
Hmm.
So then to have your money working for you and
Absolutely.
and growing.
Yes,
So like
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so like yeah, we definitely we over there also. But yeah, my trucking has definitely fuel and is the fuel to my you know record company Hits on Fire.
Yes. Because I was about to ask you that. You have your own label too. So not only are you a performer, entertainer, you own your own label.
Yes, I have a record label. It's called Hits on Fire, and we got a few artists.
Yeah.
We got Trey Vassetti. He's from out of Rochester, New York. Then we got Shafi Davis, go by the name of Shafi the Chef. He lives in Dallas, Texas,
Look at
and we
you.
we we, we working and we looking to launch their projects real soon.
Oh, that's awesome. And then
Mhm.
you do your own concerts. You just released an album, a new album a couple months ago. I think it was Bad Baby. What was the song I was listening to?
Yeah, that was the single. Yep.
Yeah.
We released Bad Baby last year, and we got
Hmm.
this year we get ready to release some singles. We got Exotica, then we got uh Wet the Sheets, because music has
Ooh.
drastically changed. Music has drastically
Look,
changed.
ooh.
So um I wanna definitely be able to reach a lot of different audiences.
Hmm.
So yeah, I even have I have a Southern soul songs. Like I got
Oh,
Southern
wow.
soul, I got trap R&B, I got R&B, contemporary R&B. So when they call me Greg R&B, that's the reason why they call me Greg R&B, because we can do multiple different versions of R&B.
Right. Yes. And I saw that you were saying that you're a mix of the old, what you think about the old R&B, and you blended with all the new stuff to give it its own sound that's representative of you.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And
Love that.
and I definitely, like you said, we got those 80s and 90s vibes records, because I love that. That's the era, that I come
Yeah.
from. So um we I take pride in trying to producing those same type of vibes and energy in music. Because and then like I want to touch on real quick, based on the statistics of the reports from music sales and streams from last year, older
Mhm.
catalogs like was responsible for maybe about 60 to 70% of streaming.
Right. It just takes something to one old song to hit, and the album is now at the top of the charts again. It's crazy the
Right,
power in that.
right. So this is what happened. A lot of people, a lot of older people are now creating their iTunes accounts. Well, last year, it's going into when the pandemic and
Ugh.
when locking us in the house. So what happened is a lot of grown people signed up to streaming services
Mhm.
and started listening to the older music and some of the
Yeah.
older catalogs and older stuff. So what happened is it it wind up um like overhauling last year, and from all of the new subscribers and the older subscribers coming in, we end up being responsible for the majority of streams from last year in the music business. So that was what I pay attention a lot to the news
Yeah, and the trends. Yeah.
and the trends, because
Yeah.
what the only thing that says is that um, music is about to change again,
Mhm.
because now the music industry, they move by the numbers. So what the music industry seeing, and now seeing the numbers that older people are now listening to more music, they're going to start putting out more music to cater to us again.
Yes.
And so that's going to wipe out all of that stuff we've been hearing for the last couple of years, and it's probably going to take about 2 to 3 years.
Because we
But
got the buying power. So this is the generation, the boomers, the Gen Xers. That's the buying power. Like we want to hear. So people want the money. So it can't just stay on that's the music that's available. We need some new sounds out here, which puts you
right,
in a great position because you blend those sounds and you cater to that
right.
groovy R&B with
Right, right,
yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
my audience. The audience that's now checking in. That's my audience. Like, definitely. So like that's a great thing for me. Like, you know what I
right.
mean, in my career, because my people, now they count,
Hmm. That's
because
right.
we're the numbers.
Yeah, we're in the digital. We're in the
Right,
digital time now. We're not just in the material, the CD. Now
right.
we're digital. So now we've gone digital. The
See,
generation's gone.
because it took a while for us to catch up, so that's why they've been catering to these kids, because the kids been on social media and all the apps and
Yep.
all that stuff forever, and the older people been like, oh, hey, but
Hmm.
pandemic changed all that,
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
because
sir.
when us older people couldn't go nowhere and was locked in there, we had to do the same thing what the younger people was
Whew.
doing, and go get right on those streaming services.
Yep, that's it. You're absolutely right. So
Change the game.
let me
Go ahead.
ask you this: who are your major influences, music wise? Like, if there had to be the people who influenced Greg R&B, who would they be? Which singers or producers or whatever? Who influenced you the most?
Ooh, that's a lot of them. But like some of the first was like Sam Cooke, Al
Mm,
Green, um, and then Keith Sweat, and then Bobby Brown.
yeah.
Uh, so like from that real music, Anita Baker. Like, oh yeah, I was like on Anita Baker. Like when I was like my mother couldn't believe that I liked Anita Baker and was listening to that kind of music when I
Yeah.
was like 5 and 6 years old.
You're legit listening to Anita. Your mom's like, boy, what you know about that?
What you know about that? But, yeah, 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 yeah. She caught me singing over. I sung over like Sam Cooke over her preaching tape, and that's how she discovered I could sing, because back, you know, and she was going back to go listen to her sermon over again, and got to a particular part, and I'm going on, and she
I
started
love it.
crying because she couldn't believe that I could sing at that age, and when I
Yeah.
was singing that old song. So then I love him. I got inspired by hip hop a lot, because my mother, she used to write us raps and stuff. So a lot of rappers rock him, Biggie and Tupac. Um,
But were you the only? Is it just you in the music, or you have other family members that love music? You know, like where
Um,
some families are like music families, or were you just like the lone one? Like I'm gonna do this.
no, my mother, she's been in music and stuff, and she had went to prison, but she was about to get a record deal right before she went to prison. She had always been, raised us up in music.
Right.
Put me in the school of music to learn how to play keyboard. So she was really, to be honest with you, my mother was like my role model. Is she the one that really, my mother inspired me.
Yeah.
So she was my greatest inspiration. Because if it wasn't for my mom, then I would never be introduced to music. The way I
Okay.
did. She the one
Someone
that. Go ahead.
Elaine said, "Remember your mom made that song about Amy Fisher."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My mother, she was locked up in prison with Amy Fisher. Amy Fisher was like a celebrity prisoner because she had um like killed some man's wife, and it was like it made it to TV. They made a movie out of it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, my mother, she was locked up with her, and I guess got into an altercation with her. It ended up going on the TV show, all kind of stuff. Yeah, so yeah, my mother, she's an activist, and she just
Okay.
always found herself to end up on the news.
So she's that presence. She's that big personality too. The
Oh
mover
yeah,
and shaker.
oh my goodness, yes, that's where I learned a lot of it from. My dad, he's same way, like he a preacher, and
Yeah.
just full of energy, charismatic, real very charismatic, energetic.
Well, I love it. I mean, you have just an amazing story, and just go to Greg's website. It's gregr&b.com. Go to his website, read his story. Just he talks about his brother in there. He talks about his movement from Rochester to Florida to Atlanta. Like he just kind of gives a synopsis of what the road looks like to Greg. Like what did it look like to get to be in this space and to share the stage and just, well, not even share the stage, to have a huge presence on the stage and entertain crowds. Like that's got to be so empowering. Like.
Oh yeah, like I grew up in front. I used to be shy. My mother used to have to, I used to basically almost just give me a whooping, make me sing because I was so shy to sing in front of people. But over time, like getting in my dad ministry, I end up in front of people again, and so I always ended up in front of people. So now, I love to end up in front of people. So
Yeah.
whenever I get in front of people, it's just like I transform. Like I get that feeling like Michael Jackson used to talk about. Like I don't even feel like myself no more once I get
Right.
on that stage and I see them people like man, you scared of them? You scared?
Yeah.
Give me that mic.
Give it here. Yeah.
Right.
It's that's the stage presence is something crazy because like
Right.
I even for me, like I'm chill. I love to go have a good time. But when I'm doing a reading or I have an event and I get ready, it's like I am whoa. And something happens because in your mind you're like, what if they don't like it? What if this is before you get there? You're thinking, having these thoughts, making sure everything's together. And as soon as you hit that stage and you get that mic, it's like none of that even matters because I'm in my own zone and I'm going to do my thing. And
See, see,
that's it.
see what I do is I already create the zone before I get to the stage. So
Mm.
it's been like times where at least several times where I've left stuff on stage because I'd be so caught up in my zone that I forget about that I just dropped my cane. I put my hat or my coat right over there, like, and I just ran off the stage because
Because
I
you're
put
done.
myself. I'm already sold that they're gonna like me before I pick up the microphone because I'm
Uh,
so that's already my thought process before I even get there. So
True
um
entertainer. You're a true entertainer. You already have that thought. You're a true entertainer. Yeah.
Well, I learned it from my mother, to be honest with you. I gotta
Wow.
get, once again, I got my mother, Joyce Powell. Free my mother, Joyce Powell. She locked up in Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. Anybody that looking at this, you go to Google her, free Joyce Powell's. Same name as you, Joyce, Joyce, and last
Mm-hmm.
name Powell, and you can read a little bit about her story and what she's going through. I got her an attorney. She was unfairly, you know, um, targeted by, a particular county in New York State and given 25 years of prison.
Ooh.
And I had to get her get her an attorney last year, and
Okay.
so we right now in court, looking to try to get those case turned around. So if anybody want to offer any support or look at that story and see, even if you can write the courts for us, um,
Okay.
go to our website, freejoycepowell.com.
So a political prisoner.
Political prisoner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep,
Hmm.
I see that. Yeah. Okay. I will definitely put that on my Facebook too. I'll read about that a little bit more and see, how we can help with that. How to help that cause. So your mom is she is the presence, and you have it, and your father he's a pastor, so he has it. So you were just born gifted into it, like it's just your thing.
Yeah, I can't even lie to you. Yeah, I was born into it. I got it honestly.
Yes.
My dad, he's been married for probably about close to 40 years, with his wife, and he's always taking care of his wife. Always been a hard work, like a man don't sleep.
Mm-mm.
Um, so I have a good, I've had a great example when it comes to what a man's supposed to be, and to his wife and family as a provider. So, um, I definitely, give my dad his props, because he's been a great example in showing me the way and being a provider.
Well, I was going to say that you don't sleep. There's no way you could sleep for as much work as you do and performing. So you don't sleep much either, do you?
Well, after even after this interview, I'm probably gonna take about an hour to nap and then I'll be headed to Florida. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't stop.
don't stop. But
Uh,
that's I can't complain because that's that's a part of the process. Like if
right.
you want a lot, you want a lot. You can't work a little
Well,
to gain a whole lot.
that's true.
So people have to be conscious of what they desire because some desires require a lot of you know
Yeah.
getting to it in
Yeah.
order
If
to
you want
bring
it, you got to put in the work for it. You're not going to get it.
you're
It ain't
not
going
going
to
to
just
get
come
it.
to it. You got to put in some work.
You got to put in a whole lot of work. Like like if you person say for instance you working 40 hours a week for somebody else, when you start working for yourself, that 40 hours have turned into maybe 60 or 80.
Boy, don't
You
even.
know,
That's it.
if you really get into it, like and so and then like wherever your mind is, based on your a person's mindset, that's where the energy comes from to
Hmm.
continue to go.
Right.
So like when you was asking me about the determination determination is a mindset, is what you
Yeah.
tell yourself every day when you wake up in the morning.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm gonna succeed, I'm gonna win, I'm not gonna lose.
Right.
No matter what, I win at everything that I do. If I'm down now, I'm gonna be up soon. That's the
Man.
only thing. And then you program yourself to never give up.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I always did when I was broke.
Yeah.
I always
So
told
you
myself,
create a habit. You created a habit of I'm a winner. That wasn't just in the broke time. Now it's your mantra. It's just a part of who you are. Like, why not? Right? Like, I know I'm a
right,
winner. I know I'm great. Yeah.
right. Now it's just to the next level. Now, oh, I don't won. and I don't won this war. I don't won this war. You know, like what's this guy named the famous guy over there that took over Rome. Man, I
Not
can't look.
Caesar.
Not Caesar. He was
Caesar.
almost like a barbarian.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God, his name gonna come to me in a minute. But yeah, they took over. You know, even the Roman Empire. You know, they went and conquered. You know, land, and land is like, so you spread out. You know, the more successful, the more stuff, the more land you conquer, you go conquer more land. You go get, you know, you get bolder, and you know, now you going over here. So it's like basically, you know, you never want to get satisfied. You know, I don't never want to get satisfied or feel go get comfortable ever, until the ultimate goal is reached. But other than that, and then the ultimate goal, you want to make it so huge
Yep.
and unreachable to your physical eye, but nothing is unreachable to your mental eye.
That's right.
So you want to make it so huge to where you prepared to never stop.
That's right. Yeah. That's the self-actualization. That's when you reach that space. That's it. Like you've reached greatness, but you've got to stay, like you're saying, and you keep moving and you keep that motivation, and you're getting there. You're growing there. You're young. And I said earlier, you're good looking. You talked about dating, so I have to ask some dating questions for my audience. What do you
Right.
think about dating in Atlanta? Now, I'm in your group, so I get to see a lot of your comments. But what do you think about dating in Atlanta?
Dating in Atlanta is very disturbing. You know, you know, a lot of people experience a lot of success in Atlanta. You know, so you have a lot of people that are very independent. So I think, you know, with the success and the independence, you know, and then the shortage of guys, you know, it just creates a obstacles. And
Yes.
but definitely the independence. The independence here creates the biggest obstacles because, you know, when everybody has money, everybody has an ego.
Mm,
Um, you know, it's so much money and ego in Atlanta.
yeah.
You
And
know,
ego will hurt you every time because it's so surface. Like that ego is you that just want to get past that. You don't want your ego ruling your thoughts. So I can understand that because there are a lot of successful men and women in Atlanta, and the women here are like, I can do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and it becomes when you're seeking to date someone, it does present a lot of obstacles.
oh my gosh, yes, and you know, women, they do what they want to do in Atlanta. So
That's right.
you know,
Look, yep, that's right.
and then you know, and you know, I ain't mad at them, you know, for being successful and you know, having it their way. But you know, only thing I just, you know, it just hurts. It hurts a little bit because, you know, a lot of successful guys, you know, they can't find, you know, they can't seem to, you know, blend with women that's, you know, equally successful because of
You
the
want,
ego thing. The
yeah,
ego
and
thing.
you want to be in a relationship. You want to be married. You want to have a family. You're very vocal about you want those things, and it seems like you should have everything at your fingertips, but that's just not the way that it is. Not
Oh
with
no, like, and that's the crazy part. And it's not that way for a lot of people like that's in certain spaces, but they just not going to talk about it. Um, but it becomes a little bit more difficult when you reach a certain space
hmm
because then you become more pickier. You become picky because then now it requires a certain type of individual.
Right.
You know, everybody can't, you know, come in my home anymore.
hmm
Anybody.
Right.
You know, it has to be. You have to be fit to be able to,
It's
you
got to
know, the
be
whole.
meaningful.
Yeah, it have to be.
You
It have
just
to be
don't open it up.
meaningful. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it got to make sense.
Yeah.
Um, so like ain't no sleeping all day. We got multiple businesses, so like what kind of help, assistance, can provide, so we, you know what I mean? Like, so like I said, it just, and then everybody don't have that in them to be
Yeah.
an assistant,
And you need like
or
um I would say for you, for me, for people like us, if you're going to be with somebody, they have to understand, either they have to understand the hustle mentality or they have to hustle too. They cannot be a one-stop shop, because that doesn't make sense to my mind for a man to have a job. Like, well, what else you do? Like what else? There's got to be something else. But it took me some time to get there because I didn't understand the hustle in me. So when you meet people like you own your business, you're an entertainer, you got your record label, you got all these different things, you're working on your mom's legal case, you got all these things happening. So if somebody is like, they work like 7 to 2 and then they sleep all day, you looking like, well, what else you gonna do? And then
right.
they want you to do less. So then they're like, why you gotta do that? Why don't you stay here with me? So they want you to do less instead of trying to do more. It's a
And then that's when it be like, can't even, can't even, can't even do it, so like, you know, yeah, you just hit some real good points too.
but it's the truth. I mean, we as you get older, you get into your thing, you gotta somebody that gotta work. And what is it they say, you have to be equally yoked, right? So you gotta
Hmm.
work as hard as you, we gotta work hard together. You gotta work as hard as me or harder than me. But I can't be the one working hard and you chilling. Like, cause then
Right,
I'm like, what else you gonna do with your time? Like, we got stuff to do. So
right, right. Oh yeah, definitely. And one of the things I was gonna say is, see, like, people need to understand that the whole world system, especially the American system, was designed to create slaves.
yeah. Hmm.
So when we talking about men working, I just had put something together for my trucking company talking about this also. All of our life, in the kids' life, they teaching you about, you go to school about Columbus and who, discovered the man, social studies. Like, they teaching you a bunch of stuff that probably you never ever gonna utilize. Once you probably, some of that stuff we don't even remember after you get your, your teenage years and your 20s. You don't even remember that stuff they taught you in elementary schools. So why did they teach us that stuff?
I just
So
call it the socialization of America. That's what the school system does. It's going to teach you, and it's not just in the United States, it's other countries as well. They're going to teach you the things that are relevant to the space in which you live. The key is get out of that space, and that's a parental duty and your duty as an adult. You have to get outside of the space and continue to learn, whether that's true or not. Hell, science changes all the time, so there's nothing that's there, nothing's in concrete unless it's a theory, and that's still up for question. But we're
right,
not raising thinkers, we're just not raising thinkers. And
right,
I
right. And one thing I touch on is, like, financial
mm,
education is not taught in black homes, and probably has never been taught in black homes.
mm,
So that's why you have so many poor of us. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And the reason why our mentality towards money is so messed up, and we believe in being poor, and we hate people with money, and we feel like if you get money, you the devil. Because of,
Yeah. You done
the
sold your soul. You got
yeah.
too much
So
money. You sold your
so
soul.
that's because, you know that's a slave mentality. They didn't. The other white people not going around thinking stupid like that. No, because number one, in their homes, in their homes
And their
because
parents. That's it.
their parents taught them about money
That's
growing
it.
up. So that's why they are a lot more successful, because they were taught what matters
Yeah.
when they went home, because
When they
their
talk about
families
the
was
money.
business owners and different stuff. So they was
Mm-hmm.
the families was financially already literate.
Yep. Yep.
We weren't. We were out there in the fields and doing whatever, give whatever opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So like that slave mentality, it still carries on, and and then now we enslaved to money. We enslaved to
That's it.
poverty. We enslaved to being broke.
There's
You
so
know,
many things. The slave. There's so many things about just a slave mentality. When you talk about heck, beating your kids, not creating, not allowing people to think, raising them to think, like all of that stuff is slave mentality. I'm gonna beat you until you do what I want you to do the way that I want you to do it.
right? And yeah, I don't even believe in that, because
See, yeah, yeah. So
I, I,
there's so much, it's so much
right.
trauma. That's it. There's so much
But that's how we were raised, like
trauma. Hmm.
force by force.
Yep.
You gotta force the kid to do the whoop them or do all that. I just don't believe in that. I talked to my daughter, and I just believe that you know through love, you get a better reaction.
Hmm.
You know, I listen to somebody who I know love me more than I know I would more faster than I would listen to somebody who I felt afraid of.
Oh, they're gonna hurt. Yeah, they're gonna hurt me. I'm not gonna. If I know they're gonna hurt me, I don't want to hear what they got to say because they're
I don't want to hear
ultimately
what you
it's
got to
hurt.
say if I feel like you're out to
Yep.
get me.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So by parents beating and hitting and fearing the kids, you're making them not want to listen to you. They're not going to listen to you.
No, they're gonna still
They not.
sneak out and do whatever.
Then that's when they become rebellious. So you know, they say, because how we were taught, we were, back in our days. Oh, don't be, you're supposed to be friends with the kids. No, 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 no. But you are.
Yeah,
You
you're
are.
supposed to at least look. You're supposed to at least like them,
You
and
supposed to
let them
like them, and
trust
then
you.
see, because our parents, like, my mother, we ain't even get the chance to, you can't eat what grown folks eat. If we
Yeah.
eating McDonald's, you eating food at the house when we get home. So it was just, old school teaching.
Yeah.
It was just totally different. It was, we had to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You had to, and which I still do say. And then
Hmm.
but it was just totally different. And but we turned out. I can't say we turned out so perfect because of that, because we didn't.
Keep learning. We still learn. People still learn. That's the thing. You got to still learn and find out something different for yourself. And like that's it. You can't stay a child your whole life. You
Mm-mm.
can't do this because you can't be 40 doing this because this what my mama told me to do. Well, what does life tell you? What have you learned? So
Right.
we have to really pay attention to those moments to grow and just to become better. Look, it's 10 o'clock. I didn't even realize it was so late. I'm enjoying talking to you so much. So
Mm.
this is Greg R&B. You can find him on gregrnb.com. He's also on Facebook as Greg R&B Blake, and I'll put his credentials on my page as well. Would you like to add anything before we wrap up?
Oh, it was wonderful being on the show. I'll be definitely looking forward to coming back, and
Yes.
definitely thank you for the opportunity. Anybody want to follow me, you go on Greg R, the letter NB.com, and you can see all my videos and whatever. It's to stay in contact, everybody.
Yes. So thank you so much. And this has been Joycelyn Wells with Joy Exposed. And remember, when joy is exposed, everything just feels better. Mwah. I'll see you next week. Bye.